Hello everybody, welcome back to Psych Saints. My name is Prescott and I'm here at Succinct Psychology, and we're going to keep on keeping on with going through the Psychology 2E OpenStax online textbook. Today we're going to start Chapter 7, Thinking and Intelligence. And so without further ado, let's get going. So starting off, we have cognitive psychology. So cognition, most simply, is thinking, and it encompasses the processes associated with perception, knowledge, problem solving, judgment, language, and memory. So down here we have a figure of the 19th century girl with a book by Jose Ferraz de Almeida Jr. Just some pictures of art, somebody thinking, using their knowledge. Nice little figure there. So continuing, cognition. So we have another figure here. So sensations and information are received by our brains, filtered through emotions and memories, and processed to become thoughts. So here we have, information and sensations go in, become emotions and memories, which become thoughts. Thoughts lead back into emotions and memories, because when you're thinking about something, it can cause like an emotional reaction, thinking about something that makes you really happy or sad or mad, and therefore thoughts lead into your behavior. So it's a nice chain here that gets you to your behavior, how you act, what you do during your day. So next we have concepts and prototypes. So how does the brain organize information? So first we have concepts, which are categories of linguistic information, images, ideas, or memories. They're used to see relationships among different elements of experience and can be complex and abstract. For example, the idea of justice, it's an abstract concept. There's no concrete definition of like what justice is. It can vary from person to person. Or concrete, which is, there are types of birds. You have falcons and hawks and eagles. There's no abstractness there. If it's blue jay, it's a blue jay. You don't have to think about it. So next you have prototype, which is the best example or representation of a concept. So for example, Mahatma Gandhi could be a prototype for the category of civil disobedience. So here in 1930, Mohandas Gandhi led a group in peaceful protest against a British tax on salt in India. So he's the best example or representation of the concept. He's the prototype of civil disobedience. Next, we have natural and artificial concepts. So natural concepts are created naturally through either direct or indirect experience. For example, our concept of snow. Then we have artificial concepts, which are defined by a specific set of characteristics. For example, properties of geometric shapes, so squares, triangles, etc. So, here you have your natural concept, snow. That's just natural, snow happens. And then artificial is you have a large sphere here, pyramid in the background. That's artificial. That's something we made and designed. So schemata, so a schema is a mental construct consisting of a collection of related concepts. When a schema is activated, we automatically make assumptions about the person / object / situation. So a role schema makes assumptions about how individuals in certain roles will behave. So what assumptions, just think to yourself, come to mind about librarian? Like for me, you think of, I immediately get in my head, like from an old kids cartoon, woman with big glasses, always going shh at you because you're talking too loud. That is my role schema. The assumptions that come to mind to me, at least, about librarian, but it could be very different for going from person to person. So an event schema or cognitive script are a set of routine or automatic behaviors. So they can vary widely among different cultures and countries. They dictate behavior and they make habits difficult to break. For example, when riding in an elevator, we automatically stand facing the door. I've never seen, you have a picture there, but unless it's a really crowded elevator, you're probably going to face the door. It's a cognitive script. So, event schema, continuing on, are difficult to change because they're automatic. When we receive a text, our event schema is to pick up our phone and reply. The problem is that this automatic reaction will arise even in situations when it is not safe to reply. Texting while driving is dangerous, but it is a difficult event schema for some people to resist. So research suggests that just the event schema of regularly checking our phone makes it increasingly difficult to resist picking it up while driving. So better explanation for event schemas, how they're difficult to change because they just become automatic. Like I have friends who will just automatically get a text while they're driving, even though it's against the law. You could get in a wreck, something bad could happen. They'll still hear their phone buzz, be on their phone. They'll be on their phone while driving because they're so hard to resist because it's an automatic response. So continuing on, I know I say that a lot, but it's a good transition phrase, I think. So language. Language is a communication system that involves using words and systematic rules to organize those words to transmit information from one individual to another. So the components of language, you have a lexicon, the words of a given language, grammar, which is a set of rules that are used to convey meaning through the use of the lexicon. We have a phoneme, or a basic sound unit, like ah or eh, it's a very basic sound unit. Morphemes, which are the smallest unit of get all tongue twisted here, which are the smallest units of language that convey some type of meaning. Language is constructed through schematics and syntax. We have semantics, the meaning we derive from morphemes and words, and syntax, the way words are organized in sentences. There's language. Next, we have language development. So, Noam Chomsky proposed that the mechanisms underlying language acquisition are biologically determined. So language develops in the absence of formal instruction. Language acquisition follows similar patterns in children from different cultures/backgrounds. Now, a critical period is proficiency in acquiring language is maximal early life. Being deprived of language during the critical period impedes the ability to fully acquire and use language. So when you're younger, you acquire language easier. That's why, a lot of people who are bilingual, they learn, for example, English and Spanish through their parents. Might have had one parent that speaks English, one parent that speaks Spanish. They grew up hearing both, so it's much easier for them to learn those two languages and become proficient with them, rather than, for example, me, I have to take Spanish courses. It's much harder for me to get it into my head. So here we have the case of Jeannie. So the effects of language deprivation during the critical period can be seen in the case study of Jeannie. They were found at age 13 after being raised in neglectful and abusive conditions and grew up with virtually no social interaction and was unable to speak when found. So with help, Jeannie was able to acquire vocabulary but was not able to learn the grammatical aspects of language. That's pretty crazy because she missed that critical period. Here we have a nice chart, the stages of language and communication development. So we have 7 stages ranging from birth to 3 to 5 years. So stage 1, the development of the language and communication is reflexive communication. Stage 2 is, again, reflexive communication plus interest in others. So 3 is intentional communication, so 8 to 13 months, and sociability. 12 to 18 months, we have your first words, mama, dada, so on and so forth. Stage 5, we have simple sentences of 2 words. Now, stage 6, 2 to 3 years, you have sentences of 3 or more words. And then by 3 to 5 years, complex sentences, and the kid can have conversations with you. Talk to a 3 or 5-year-old, they're going to be able to hold a conversation with you, not just give you 1 or 2 word answers. So, problem-solving strategies. So there's trial and error, which is continue trying different solutions until the problem is solved. Algorithm, which is a step-by-step problem-solving formula. A heuristic, which is general problem-solving framework. So we have shortcuts, a rule of thumb, working backwards. So we begin solving the problem by focusing on the end result and breaking large tasks into a series of smaller steps. So when do people use heuristics? When one is faced with too much information, when the time to make a decision is limited, when the decision to be made is unimportant, when there is access to very little information to use in the making of the decision, and when an appropriate heuristic happens to come to mind in the same moment. So going on, again, problem-solving strategies. We have method, trial and error, algorithm, heuristic, and you have your descriptions here. So trial and error, you continue trying different solutions to the problem is solved. An example would be, restarting your phone, turning off Wi-Fi, turning off Bluetooth in order to determine why your phone is malfunctioning. Now, an algorithm is the step-by-step problem-solving formula, so you use it for instruction manual for installing new software on your computer. And then finally, heuristic, it's just a general problem-solving framework. So examples of working backwards, breaking a task into steps rather than tackling the whole thing at once. So Here we have some puzzles. So, number one, we have Sudoku. So, problem solving abilities can improve with practice. Many people practice every day with puzzles such as Sudoku. And I will not lie to you, I have no idea what Sudoku is. I know it exists, I just don't know how to do it. So, puzzle two, spatial reasoning. So, connect all 9 dots with 4 connecting straight lines without lifting your pencil from the paper. So you need to make 4 straight lines and connect all the dots. So that's using your spatial reasoning. So here we have the answers. You have Sudoku. Yeah, Sudoku. I was thinking of Uno for a second. And then you have your spatial reasoning. Here are the 4 lines you would draw in order to connect all 9 of those dots. So we will end for now, but we will definitely be continuing on the next video with pitfalls to problem solving. I hope you guys found this video enjoyable, maybe at least a little bit, and educational. And I hope you guys have a great day. Again, my name is Prescott. I'm here at PsychSync, so Sync Psychology, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.